I titled this The Sad Truth About Pyra Mythra, but depending on how you feel about the character, you may not think it's that sad. You might be happy to hear this. What I think about Pyra Mythra is they're phenomenally good. They're amazing. They're one of the best characters in the game. But I feel like at the higher levels currently, they are just like ridiculously precise to the point where I feel like most people aren't going to get good results with the character. They're not going to get as great results as they would as you would expect, because I think it's really easy to make a mistake with them. Like, they have like such a huge room for error. Task level needed, I don't think it's like that, but I think a good way to think about it is Pyra Mythra is similar to Sheik in the sense that, I don't know about the lower level, but if you talk to most top players, they think the character's broken. Like, oh, like Sheik's broken. Like, a lot of really good players think that. But the problem is, she just requires so much precision and just overall awareness. Like, you need top tier decision making to make that character work consistently. And I feel like it's the same as Pyra Mythra. Not nearly as demanding, but I do think that in a lot of cases, you're gonna have to just be ready to do something with them, like at almost any given time. Shout outs to Pink Fresh, by the way, because the video he made on refresh rate's really good. I think with Pyra Mythra, you need an insanely high refresh rate. I think characters that are very precise, your refresh rate has to be like god tier. You have to have one of the best refresh rates in order to make them work incredibly well. If you don't, I don't want to sound mean, but you probably shouldn't play that character if you can't do that. Yeah, so the refresh rate video that Pink Fresh did, I'll have linked in the description. Yeah, that's how I feel about Pyra Mythra. One of the main reasons as well is just their frame data. I'm just gonna pull up Mythra's, because Mythra's is like the important one. I just want to say this, like, okay, like their aerials on shield are pretty unsafe, minus up air. Even then, if you auto cancel it, it's actually -2, so that's pretty ridiculous, but you have to be able to up air it, and you have to space it to where it'll be that safe. And I feel like a lot of characters aren't going to let you consistently do that. They'll typically like push a button or challenge you. But yeah, so their aerials on shield aren't very safe. Obviously, if you space your attacks on shield, it doesn't matter how unsafe they are, just because, you know, most characters aren't going to be able to shield grab you or something like that. But if you face a character that has like a really good out of shield option or a very consistent out of shield option, even if you space it, it'll be kind of rough, just because that gives you less of a mix-up. Like, that's like the big thing about Pyra Mythra's aerials on shield. You can space to make them not as punishable. You don't have that great of a mix-up, because it's like you're either going to space away to avoid getting hit, or you're going to go into your opponent and you're going to get punished for doing something like that minus up close to them on shield. That's like the downside to Pyra Mythra. And then after that, a lot of aerials are -7, right? I want to say you're realistically not going to consistently make this -7. So let's say it's like -8 or 9. If it's -9, most characters are going to be able to shield grab you. Because of Mythra's frame data, spot dodge wise, because of Foresight makes it so that you're invulnerable to attacks on frame 2 through 6, but not grabs. So that's pretty huge. So Mythra, for that reason, is more susceptible to getting grabbed, because her spot dodge and roll frame data are just not as good if the opponent's not throwing out an attack, because of how Foresight works. What about hurtbox shifting? That's true as well. There's some characters who can't punish Mythra because of her hurtbox shifting. I also think that once players get better at doing foots out of shield, Mythra is going to suffer, or is going to be one of the characters that suffers the most from it, because her aerials are minus to the point where characters should be able to do it out of shield pretty consistently, unless, again, she spaces it. But then if that's the case, you kind of just lose that mix-up that Mythra has. But yeah, I think that's one of the big things. Like, even though she's fast and stuff like that, I don't think she can pressure you that hard up close, unless the character she's fighting has bad frame data. And if that's the case, you know, it's kind of your fault for playing a character that has bad frame data. Because of her frame data, you're probably just not going to be able to pressure characters as hard as you want. Like, I feel like Mythra, the way she works is she's going to hit someone's shield, and then she's going to try to bait out something and use her strong burst range to kind of go in more. But she's not just going to crazy pressure you, is the point I'm getting at. But yeah, like I said, I'm not trying to say Mythra is bad. I don't think she's bad. I think she's an amazing character. I just think that the way the meta is currently, I don't really see many people being being able to succeed with her, unless again you have a high refresh rate and are able to abuse her burst range in strong advantage state. But I feel like that's hard to do because in terms of like abusing burst range, you need to have a somewhat competent neutral to do that. If someone just has like a better neutral than you, then you're not going to be able to consistently just beat out someone and use your burst range to do that. The other thing is, even though her advantage is really good, like I said, I feel like there's a lot of room for error. So even though you can consistently keep a character in the air, it's that much easier to just make a mistake and just get reversal. Like a lot of the stuff that Mythra does is she doesn't have like these crazy long combos. She has really, really good juggling, but she's not just going to like grab someone and then get them from 0 to like 70 off of a grab or like off of a single hit, unless it's like she's juggling them. And like I said, juggling gives you room for error, gives you a room for the opponent to reversal you. I hope that makes sense. I hope that I explained that well. She has good tech chasing. Yeah, that's true as well. But again, like tech chasing requires you to be reactionary. Like a lot of the stuff she has, there's just room for error. There's room for the player to mess up. That's the thing about Mythra. It's just really easy for the opponent or for the player that's using Mythra to mess up, and that's why I think there's not as many getting as good a results, or at least the people who were getting really good results with them are like they've either been like top 10 or 20 players, you know. Her recovery, that's the other thing. I didn't even mention that, but Pyra Mythra's recovery is just, it's so exploitable. Like obviously it's good in some cases, like the fact that Mythra can kind of up be like this and the hitbox pokes through the stage is pretty big. But if Mythra has to recover from farther away, you should lose your sock against someone who's confident. That's pretty big. The fact that she can get a recovery exploited like that. Obviously there are ways around it, like you have the fact that you can switch and stuff like that. If you're wondering why I didn't talk about Pyra as much, it's because I feel like Mythra is like the more important character out of the two. Like I feel like most of the time when you're playing Pyra and Mythra, you're going to be playing as Mythra because Mythra is the character that's going to win you neutral. She's going to be the character that puts you in the advantage and stuff like that. And you know, Pyra is good for kills. I'm not saying that she doesn't have like, she's not usable in neutral and stuff like that, but Mythra is just like the foundation for the character, in my opinion. You need to have like a good Mythra in order to make the character work. Obviously, you need like a solid Pyra as well, but you need Mythra to work. Like you just need to. She just does so much. You played against DM at a regional and their recovery has more mix-ups than people give credit for. I agree. Their recovery does have mix-ups. Like switching is huge. Switching basically gives you a smash for air dodge. And the other cool thing about switching is that because both Pyra and Mythra have different stats, you can kind of delay your recovery because Pyra is slower, like in the air. She's like a bit more floaty, so you can kind of stall out your recovery slightly. That'll mess up your opponent's timing. I would say the recovery it's a bit underrated, but I would say not by much. Mythra is the one with the slower, yeah, Mythra has the slower air dodge frame data wise if you don't include Foresight, but Foresight is really good in a lot of cases. Obviously off stage it could actually suck because you can activate Foresight when someone attacks you, and in a lot of cases when you Foresight off stage you probably are just dead. But yeah, on stage Foresight's ridiculous. You don't think she's the character that carries the hardest? No. So when I think of a character that carries, it's like just being able to easily just do your stuff and not have to like worry about it as much. Not be as mentally demanding. Just based off of what I said, like the fact that you have to like, there's so many situations for you to get reversaled, I feel like it's hard to say this character carries you when at the top level, when you see Pyra Mythra, yes, it looks ridiculous, it looks stupid. But if you look at lower levels, it's so like it's hilarious how many times you see a Pyra Mythra get reversaled. Look at someone play Pyra Mythra that's not like Spargo, not Cosmos or MKLeo, and just watch how many times they get reversal. It's kind of ridiculous. At lower levels, it's really easy to overextend with Pyra Mythra. It's like you either overextend or you just like, you're slightly off on your juggle. Alright, but enough of that. I'm gonna play matches. So many Aegis apologists. Hey, like I said, I think they're a good character. They're absolutely a good character. No, that was bad on their part. I just remembered something I want to show you guys. What I was going to show is that like Pyra Mythra's grab range is like actually it's pretty comparable to Palu's. Not like as good as Palu's, but like it's pretty comparable. And their dash grab is broken. Look at this. And then if you include boost grab, so this is me with a dash grab, and then this is me boost grabbing. Pretty nuts. Pyra Mythra players aren't boost grabbing. I don't know what you're doing. That's so good. That hit me? Oh my god, stop side B'ing me. You're kidding. I got this guy talks about no campers, and he's just side B'ing me. But he's not camping. I don't know. Side B is a camping move. I feel like another big thing about Pyra Mythra is knowing when you should and shouldn't use Pyra. Like knowing when to switch into one character. I think that is pretty big. Because there's a lot of moments where you probably should not be playing Pyra. And then there's some moments where you should be. And you have to like determine when that is. And I feel like that's not something that's like, it's not something always easy to know. Which I think adds to like the difficulty of playing them at higher levels. That's so good. Okay, that's a cheating move. He's doing that so much. And I know it's coming, but I just keep mistiming my freaking, Okay, there we go. Like, I know he just keeps trying to land into me in neutral air. I'm just mistiming it. I blame online. That was down smash. Got him. What are you doing? Do I think Pyra Mythra has below average shield pressure? That's a good question. I would say for sure among the top tiers, yes. Like among the top tiers and probably even the high tiers. I think high tiers is debatable, but among the top tiers, absolutely. Their shield pressure is below average. If I got that, that would have been pretty cool. Oh yeah, I guess I didn't mention that either. Their out of shield options are also not like that amazing. I will say Mythra's neutral out of shield kind of saves her from having horrible out of shield options because neutral air just like covers so much. It's just like such a good hitbox that covers her body. But in terms of just being able to deal with like pressure, it's not as good. Like when you fight characters that have like very sound attacks on shield. A lot of the times when you're playing as Mythra, what you have to do is just jump away, reset neutral, or just rely on foresight. Pyra's up B, I think, is 14 or 16. But yeah, Mythra's is frame 10, which out of shield wise, it's like it's not that good in my opinion. Having a frame 10 out of shield option isn't that good. And then her neutral out of shield is also a frame 11 when you include jump squat. So again, not the best. You're kidding me. It's 2 stocks, 3 minutes. God damn it, dude. You know I'm teabagging. Two stocks, 3 minutes. 2 stocks, 3 minutes as Sonic! Oh my god. I want to say that was bad DI. No! 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 Larry, would you ever change the podcast name to Hands Off My Talk? That's a good one, but I want to have my name in some way. Please. You're not killing me. No, you're not killing me off of that. I'm fine, right? Yeah. Okay. I don't want to ask him because he doesn't even know what the f is going on. No way. Okay, I lived, but I'm gonna die. There's no way I live this, right? I lived. No! Okay, you got me. You got me. What? Holy sh! Flareth with a 500. What the f? Thank you. Oh my god. I wanted that so bad. I was so close. I was so close. What the f? No! What? 850! Holy sh! Flareth. Alright. Hold on. I guess, watch me time out this Pikachu now. Why did they make this rule set? Alright. No! Exia with the 400! Thank you! Holy sh! Okay. This is nuts. Dude, thank you guys so much. Thank you. Oh my god. Let me give you my final thoughts on Pyra Mythra. I still need to do content. Like I said before, I think they're a really good character. It's not that I don't think they're good. They are 100% really good. I think they're top tier. One of the best, if not the best character in the game. The big issue with them though is that they just require a lot of precision. They're a glass cannon, meaning they're just easy to die with. I think that there's a lot of cases where they can be easily reversaled, and combined with their exploitable recovery, they're not as consistent as you would think if you're not precise with them. Like they could be very volatile. It's for that reason I think you don't see an overwhelming number of players using the character. Like I said, I think you need a very high refresh rate with Pyra Mythra. If you don't have that and you want to like compete with them at a top level, I don't recommend you playing them. Like you need to have that with the character. Otherwise, you're just gonna suffer a lot. On top of having just the awareness of when to switch to Pyra and Mythra, like you need that as well. If you don't have it, they're probably not your character. Like I think they're straightforward as well, and I think them being straightforward, it's a positive and negative thing. So the reason why it's positive is that at lower levels, they're very easy to pick up. The reason why it's negative, a lot of people are going to have like a solid understanding of how to fight them, like matchup wise, compared to like, let's say, Min or like Steve, where they're not straightforward. So you need you need to know the matchup in order to beat them. Whereas Pyra Mythra, I don't think you need to like grind out the matchup to like someone understand it. But yeah, that's gonna do it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, like, comment what your opinion of Pyra Mythra is. If you agree or disagree with me, just let me know in the comments. And of course, subscribe if you're not yet subscribed. Helps me out a lot. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next one.